Hello and welcome to lesson 3 of the Mums Taxi app. Now, before I move forward, I want to answer a question, and that is why am I doing this? Why am I running these coding challenges? The answer is to expose people to a career in coding, especially in South Africa. Now, to give you an example, I was watching a YouTube video the other day where the CEO of Youth Employment Services, Dr. Tashmia Ismail, was being interviewed. And one of the things she said was that as an agency that's responsible for employing youth, one of the great opportunities they found in this country for South African youth is for youth to code e-commerce solutions and websites. Now, extending that, I can tell you one of the major opportunities that are coming, especially in the post-COVID world in South Africa and beyond, is in coding. Whether it's web design, e-commerce, e-learning, app development, and full stack hardcore software development, there are massive opportunities in the IT space. And we also saw something happening in this country as far as the COVID and how it affected the workforce. Those people who were clued up with technology and who already had their careers in technology are doing much better than those who were in other sectors like retail or tourism or hospitality. So technology is not just, or wasn't just creating opportunities in the post-COVID world, in the pre-COVID world, but in the post-COVID world, it's going to create more and more opportunities. And the logic is very simple. The logic is this, that a lot of businesses that never considered e-commerce before, and a lot of institutes that never considered e-learning before, are now forced to go into e-commerce and e-learning. And that's because of the lockdown and the social distancing. So the more businesses and the more institutions and the more companies get into the technology space, the more is going to be the need for skilled IT people to create solutions for these businesses. So that comes back to why I'm doing this. Traditionally, South Africans haven't had much exposure to technology, to coding. So there's mystery around coding and getting into a career in technology. And South Africans in particular are still very traditional in their thinking. You know, you ask 9 out of 10 people what they want to do and you're going to get an answer like, I'm either going to get into health sciences, or I'm going to get into law, or I'm going to become an accountant or an engineer, most likely a civil engineer. And hardly anybody considers a career in technology, and even fewer people consider a career as a tech entrepreneur. So part of why I'm doing this is for people to see what goes on behind the scenes as far as coding goes. And I'm pitching this on a very entry level. I mean, I'm not pitching it on that level, you know, hardcore full stack software development. I'm pitching it on an entry level. So every ordinary person can say, hey, this is achievable. I can do this. Coming back to our app. Now I'm going to take a step back. On Thursday, in the last lesson, I actually discussed setting up the development environment, and I described opening up the folders in brackets. But then some people had a question, what is brackets? And I kind of took it for granted that, you know, a lot of people have already seen the previous coding challenge. But now I'm going to explain what brackets is for those who are joining me for the first time. Brackets is a text editor. It's a place where you type in your code. Just like you'd use Microsoft Word to type in a document, to type in a letter. In a similar way, you use a text editor to type in your code. To access brackets, you can do a Google search for brackets, or you can go to their website, which is brackets.io. And right there at the top of the page, you'll see this big blue button that says download brackets and the version next to it. You click on that, double click the download, and you'll be in business. So that is all you'll need for doing your coding. And to test your code, you got the software right there on your machine. It's your ordinary browser. So you could use Chrome or Safari or the Windows browser. I forgot what it's called. What's a Windows browser called? Edge. So you can use Edge to test your work, but I recommend Chrome. I'm using Chrome. Most developers use Chrome because it's quite capable as far as testing code goes. Okay, so without any delay, just to recap what we did the last time, we set up the development environment and we copied and pasted the HTML template into our index.html file. Now I'm going to explain what is going on in that template. What do all those strange looking tags and words mean? So let's get down to it. Okay, so looking at the template that we've put in the HTML template, you can see it starts off with a tag, the HTML tag. So it's got HTML open and close tags. Now these two tags demarcate the start and end of our web page. Everything is going to go inside of these tags. There's nothing that lives out of it. Now inside your HTML tags, you have two main tags, which is the head tag and the body tag. Now inside the head tag, you'll get information about the website or app itself, like the title. In this case, the title of the app is Mum's Taxi. Then you've got these meta tags. These meta tags provide meta information about the web page or app. Now, the first meta tag is basically saying that this app is using a character set known as UTF-8. Now, character sets are basically sets of letters and symbols across multiple different languages. So whether we are using English or some other language, these are all included in this character set known as UTF-8. The next meta tag talks to the viewport. Now the viewport is the display area of the screen. So looking at this website, the viewport is everything below this toolbar. That's your viewport. So what we are saying here is the viewport width will be the device width. So whatever is the device width, whether it's a computer screen or a tablet PC or a phone, the viewport would automatically adjust itself to the size of your device. And the initial scale, meaning the zoom level, will be 1.0, which is basically 100%. So you're going to get a view that's the size of your display and zoomed in at 100%, meaning actual size. Next, the link tag means that we are linking this file with another file. Now, the relationship between this and the next file is that the other one is a style sheet and its name is style.css. Now, you can see that in the left margin. Do you remember we made these two files, index.html and style.css? Now, in this line is where we are actually linking those two files together. And we are stating to our code, or via our code to the browser, that the file that we're linking is a style sheet. Now, we're going to discuss style sheets in more detail, but in a nutshell, a style sheet, as the name suggests, provides all the styles and colors and fonts to our app. So then that's the end of the head tag. Then you've got your body tags, which are currently empty, but this is where we're going to add all the code that's going to be displayed onto our app. But we'll start that in the next lesson. Why is it that button has some kind of effect on my brain? It just blanks everything in my brain.
Was there ever anything in your brain?
Like I have full of information, like I'm thinking, hey, 1 hour is not even enough, and suddenly you press a button, everything's gone. It's like a neuralizer thing.
Probably because like you never actually planned out exactly how you're going to say it.
I got some notes here. Nowadays I started making some short notes.